So I'm out here with the protest. Obviously, I got all four of you with me today, which is pretty cool. I'll get you out here. Introduce yourself all the way across the board.
All right, I'm Adam. I play lead guitar.
My name's TJ and I play rhythm guitar.
My name is Josh. I'm the lead singer. I'm Jared and I'm the drummer.
You don't have to look at the camera. If you want.
Oh, okay.
It feels right. Connect. Yeah.
If you really want to connect, do it. Feel
I want to
free.
connect with both of you, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to split my eyes, look at you, and look at the camera. It's gonna be crazy.
That would be wicked if we could actually do that.
Yeah.
So you guys have a new album out, Legacy. I was listening to it all the way here. All 40 minutes of the way here. I was listening to some of the interviews that you've done. And this new album, it's hard. It's very uplifting, like I've been kind of like reading. And the songs aren't very long, I noticed too. They're kind of like 2.5, 3 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Is there a reason behind the kind of less time on the songs?
That's a great question. Yeah, actually, you know what? It's funny. I actually just thought of that the other day. I was like, man, our albums in general don't end up being very long.
Quick. It's like
No idea why, man. It's definitely not on purpose. We get right into songs and we try to make them as good as they can, and then so like a lot of stuff will get cut out, or we're just trying to make it the best song quality that it can be. And I think through that process, it ends up being a little bit shorter. Not to sell our musical ability short, but it just, for some reason, it just ended up writing short songs. Couldn't tell you why.
So basically no filler is what you're saying.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of how I see it, is, kind of
Yeah.
no filler in the songs.
Yeah.
It just hits you and,
Just wanna
kind of,
The best of the
puts it right
best
through
is
it.
kind of what we want in there.
exactly. And you guys are from, as we were talking about earlier, Newcastle,
Oh, yeah.
Indiana.
Massive city.
You guys travel like a lot. I mean, you guys just got back from Latvia, Germany, all that. You guys travel, what, 150 days a year or shows a year?
Yeah.
How grueling is that on physically for you guys?
You know, I think we can all relate. I mean, we're all still young guys, but
Yeah.
when we first started, it wasn't really grueling physically at all. But as the years have gone by, it's getting more grueling. Like our backs are definitely tell the first night back out on the road, sleeping on the couch, and then like there's something that rockers call bangover, where it's like your first show back after like a break, and then you're doing your head banging,
Yep.
and then the next morning, man, you wake up and you feel like you've been hit by a truck.
And then there's something that I just call tour mode. Like after you are out for about a week, like your body gets used to it, like being up really, really late, or if you're traveling overnight in the bus. I mean,
Sleep and
yeah, like so, like your body gets used to like not get like there enough hours of sleep a night that you're normally used to, but you just get used to it, and then like for me, I just go for like a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I usually get sick at least once a tour.
So, are you sick right now?
I am slightly.
Is it because of these guys, or just because of being out and kind of changing the whole rhythm of
I don't know,
your
man. The weather, I don't know.
This guy's always sick. So
Yeah.
always sick?
Well, the weather outside is frightful.
Frightful. And we're right about that time, so you can use that. So while on tour, I mean, obviously since you guys do a lot of, out of town dates and whatnot, how is your eating habits while you're out of town? Can't be that good.
Yeah, it's very hard to eat healthy on the road for numerous reasons. One, eating healthy is expensive. Two, like
Not really. You think about it, it might be, but it actually isn't.
Yeah. Hey.
I'd love to talk to you.
Give some tips, but I know like some of us try to kind of watch what we're eating, like right now, you know what I mean? But it differs. Like we always eat at least one big, massive Chinese buffet on the road. Like
Or like
per
this
week
guy-
or per day or
No, like once a tour.
Okay.
Well, there was one tour we had at least 3 Chinese buffets.
It's a long tour.
yeah, don't worry.
Yeah, it was like a week tour, so it was
Don't judge us.
But on the way up here, like this guy had like chili cheesy tots or whatever.
And a foot-long sub.
Instant M&Ms.
on one sitting?
Chocolate
And I
M&Ms.
scarfed,
And look at him.
yeah.
You're like the thin one.
I scarfed down 2 McDoubles.
Y'all thin.
before
One more
this.
time. Oh my gosh. You guys just chowing like crazy.
This guy's
All right.
metabolism.
So you guys are, out and about, kind of eating somewhat good. You try to do at least 80% of your food is healthy. Try.
That's a good ratio.
That's kind of what I try
80,
for.
80,
80-20 usually some days, weekends, 20-80.
Yeah.
Go back and forth,
Big time.
maybe 10%.
Right.
So going back to where you guys are from, Newcastle, Indiana. How was it coming up in the rock metal ranks in, like you said, the hub of
Yeah.
rock music out there?
In Newcastle?
Yeah. Or just in the vicinity of Indiana.
Yeah. There's not like a huge rock scene, I don't think. Indy has a lot of. We're not that far from Indy, about 45 minutes. So it's got a lot of sweet venues and bands and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we definitely have had like a lot of friends and bands over the years come and go, and I don't know. I think it's been cool to see us stay together throughout that whole time.
Yeah, I think every city has a different vibe, and maybe at one time Indy had a hard rock vibe, but now there's great concerts going on there, but like there's not really a good metal or rock scene where we're from, so that's why we do most of our shows not really around where we're from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Get out and about.
Yeah, sure.
Because I actually know a lot of metal bands from Indiana, but a lot of them have, like you said, gone to the wayside. So it's like,
Right.
we're going to go with that route. So I don't know if you read the news much, but there's a lot of articles out with people saying rock music is dead. And you're hearing that because it's not true. But to me, it seems like they're kind of like lighting a fire under the ass of a lot of bands to try to write good music. That's what I hear the problem is. What do you guys say that the rock genre could do to kind of come back into the forefront of music?
I mean, personally, I think being kind of in the trenches of that, I think it actually is somewhat on the rise. I think you hear that rock is dying, and I think there's evidence of that here and there, but I really think that it's starting to build up right now. And I like the idea that you said about people challenging rock bands to write better music by doing that. Man, I think just for me personally, like Beartooth is a good example of a band that is super raw and just says, you know what, like here's my heart and soul, and I think that's what rock and roll is about. It's just taking kind of your passion or your heart and putting it into the music. And I think when people listen to it, they can feel that. And it just happens to be rock music, you know what I mean? So we do our best to write awesome riffs, awesome hooks, but at the end of the day, it's also our passion.
Yeah.
So.
Because that's where it basically comes from. I mean, if you write just filler music, to just play at a show and you play the same show for 3 straight years, it's going to just be stagnant.
Right.
So it's like you kind of have to bring the whole writing aspect into it, and like you said, make it better all around. And if you think about it too, I've been kind of paying attention a lot to older established bands that have been around for like 20 years. And now they're kind of changing their sound a little bit. One band is Disturbed, another one Shinedown. Today I just heard a new song from Papa Roach that
I
sounds
heard about that.
okay.
Yeah.
That sounds very Imagine Dragons-ish.
Right.
Oh, really?
So
Yeah.
yes, you gotta hear it. I like it. I like it a lot. But to me, it's like you're almost looking for a new crowd that you didn't have 20 years ago, because you got those fans over the last 20 years. You need to change things up.
Sure.
So I kind of see that kind of happening. What do you guys think about that?
I think like as artists, you want to evolve,
Yeah.
but there's always, you always want to have, I think for us, there's always like a core element for us that's inherently like protest. So we're always going to be rock and roll. We're always going to have like really driving guitars, big drums, aggressive like vocals. I just think that's us. And I mean, over future music that we put out, I mean, we don't even know what it's going to sound like yet, but for all of us, we just want to make the best music that we possibly can. And like when Legacy came out, we had no idea what it was going to sound like. We went into the studio saying like, this is going to be really, really heavy. We wanted to go heavier with our music, and then when we got into it and then started writing and then collaborating with everybody, it came out something different, and we're all really, really happy with it. So I just think for us, like our hearts and our roots are definitely hard rock and rock and roll, and then we always want to expand on that, however that turns out.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I think what you do is super important. A lot of bands that were heavier had no part in radio or anything like that. Like Memphis Mayfire, Crown the Empire, Under Oath. I mean, all these bands that had an underground following are starting to change their style and starting to go more towards radio and kind of towards the general masses. So I think stuff like this is super important, man. And like it's awesome to get a chance to do this anytime that we can.
Yeah, and
It kind of keeps the scene alive.
like I was saying, I mean, you've been around. If a band has been around for 20 years, you kind of might get tired from playing the same stuff. They will not evolve, like you said, and kind of finding the new fans just by kind of lightening the music or changing it up. I mean, just look at pop music alone. I mean, the best of the best have changed their sound basically every 5 years for 3 decades. So it's like, why can't rock music do the same thing?
Exactly.
I mean, just because and a lot of people then say you sold out, you did this, you did that, but it's also evolving too. You don't want to be that band and, every album that comes out sounds exactly the same.
Right.
You know what I mean? So and you hear that with a lot of bands, and now all of a sudden they're changing it, and then when people start hearing the new stuff, why can't they go back to the old stuff? You lose either way.
Yeah.
Right.
So to me, it's kind of like, kind of kills it. People just want too much.
Yeah,
So-
you can't please everybody.
You can't please
just
everybody,
can't.
exactly. You change it, and it's like, why'd you change? You don't change it. It's stagnant.
Right. Yep.
So
Exactly.
kind of want to shoot yourself in the head. So your music is very uplifting, like we were talking about. You kind of see that more needed in this day and age.
Definitely. I think why I love being in this band, and this is not always the case, but I think sometimes people assume that since bands play aggressive style of music that that your message is aggressive and that you're full of hatred, and for some rock bands that might be the case, but I know for us we've all been changed, and we want the opportunity to encourage people and uplift people, and that's why we do what we do. We want people to leave our show feeling different than when they came in. We want to love on people and just be a light. So yeah.
And I heard in one of your interviews before that you struggled with anxiety and depression. So growing up with me as well, there's certain bands or songs that kind of hit that spot where I was like, oh crap, now this is like really cool, kind of getting me out of that. Was there any band like that for you guys that kind of made you look differently at what's going on?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm hitting you with
Those
some
are
deep shit.
I'll just have to think about it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, what are your influences?
No, there's a band. They're good friends of ours. They're called A Disciple, and they're incredible. One of the best rock bands in the nation. So underrated, but their stuff. They have a song called "Lay My Burdens" that hit right about the right time for me, and still to this day, when I listen to it, it just really moves me, and that's something that I can always kind of cling to.
That's good. Yeah. I mean, the same thing with me. There's just certain bands that, I listen to music, it's like, woo, that's kind of, changed me from one person to the other just after hearing their song. Anybody else want to pipe in on this one?
Yeah, I think it's hard to pin down, like one band or anything like that. But I mean, for me, like Pink Floyd has some amazing, beautiful songs that just really, really mean a lot to me. Like I'll give you an example. Like "Wish You Were Here" by Pink Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. I just feel like God has this song for me. Like if I'm having a really bad day, or I'm going through like a really bad situation, whatever that is, it just shows up on the radio. It just shows up when I need it. And if I'm in the car or if it's on my phone, it's shuffling, whatever, it comes in when I need it and just calms me down. That song really means a lot to me.
What about you?
It's hard to pick one song.
Yeah, you don't have to pick one song. Just is there like any, certain
It really
bands?
depends on my mood, but I really enjoy some Memphis Mayfire because they're very similar to us as far as like they have a good positive message, but I also love the music.
Yeah.
So, there's a few songs by them that I really enjoy. It really gets me pumped up, like in a positive way. So.
You're laughing, man.
I mean, a lot of bands are like that.
Like Barry Manilow, Rod Stewart,
No,
Neil Diamond. I mean, really like.
no, it's not true. It's not true. Man, I don't know, like
Gary Pepper.
Disciple as well. Not just because I'm his little brother, but I don't know. I just feel like we've done a lot of tours with them, and almost every show I try to watch their whole show, and I just get to sit back and relax. And I don't know, a lot of their songs really speak to me as well. So.
Yeah, for me, lately it's been the Shine Down, Get Up, man. That song
yeah.
is
It's awesome.
it hits you. And then Foo Fighters was actually that band for me.
Oh,
They kinda-
dude. Yeah.
I can't go wrong
One of the
with
best
them.
shows I've ever seen.
Oh yeah,
Bingo. I've seen them so many times. It's sick. So, going back to Legacy. So you guys have that coming out. You know, it's rolling really good. When you guys first heard it come out on the radio, you guys have had songs out, but when that comes out and it's new, what's the first thing that comes to your mind on, kind of like, we kind of did it again, or what are you thinking?
It's always really, really humbling. We had 4 years, pretty much, between records, which is a long time.
Mm-hmm.
We just got hunkered down, played lots of shows, and I don't know. It took a while, but the timing was right, and it was such an amazing thing to finally share what's been on our hearts, pretty much. This whole time that we haven't put out music, getting that out there was super humbling, and the little bit of success that it's had on the radio is just so humbling and mind blowing as well. And we love that people are liking the record so far. So it's been cool, man.
That's good. Anybody else, or
I think for me, like hearing it or seeing it on iTunes or hearing it on the radio or something like that, it's always very surreal. It's like, wow, like my best friends and I created this, and then we put it out there, and in any type of art form, you're very vulnerable, because you obviously want people to like it because we like it. So it's always like, man, I wonder if people like this. Like, do they like that song, or do they like to buy this record? So it's always that, but it's also like, man, you grow up listening to rock and roll, and like you hear like AC/DC like coming through like your speakers, and then you go through like this process with your best friends, then you hear it, like your art coming through like the same speakers, and it's like, wow, like we're in it, we're a rock and roll band, and for me it's very, very surreal. It's a dream come true every time it happens.
so do you guys follow the positive and the negative reviews that you guys get?
I usually.
Or do you only just try to focus on the positive? 'Cause I know that's what I would try to do.
As far as focusing, yes, I usually laugh at the negative ones because they're usually funny. It's like they're so negative that it just kind of makes me laugh.
I think we've really evolved too, because years ago, if we got any negativity, it was like, oh my gosh. But I mean, just like you mentioned earlier, like you can't please everyone, and you know what, like there's just some, like they said, like perfect example. Our video was up on Loudwire, and the comments were good, bad, and the best one was a GIF of Jeff Goldblum looking at a giant pile of dinosaur poop, and that one actually got me pretty good.
I'll tell you what, Loudwire has really good comments.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
I mean, that's one of the best ones that I follow.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
So
it's
anything
awesome.
Slipknot. So what does Corey Taylor have to say?
right, but I think like you just got to let those things kind of roll off, and if it's criticism that could be applied, then hey, we're always looking to grow. Like, you know what I mean? But
Of course, like you have like your trolls, and
Sure.
and I mean, and especially doing this, like being in the music business, like if you don't have thick skin, I mean, you really won't last.
Correct.
I mean, it just won't happen.
see that?
Thin skin. Right
But
there.
the skin is as thick as
Pretty
it is.
I could take an axe to that.
Nothing. So going past this record, what do you guys have coming up besides obviously a lot of touring, as I've noticed? What else do you have coming? Any festivals that you guys might be doing?
you know, we have a really good tour coming up in February, starting in February, called the City Rock Fest Tour. We went on it last year. Us and a lot of other bands in our market go out and just tour the country for about a month and a half, 2 months. It's a blast. We do some festivals lining up for this summer, and it looks like we're going to go overseas again next fall. So who knows? It's still, shows are still kind of filing in and all this stuff. So we'll see. But yeah, just check out our website. It's all there.
Do you guys have a fan group page or anything?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Have people follow it, man.
Yeah, sure. So Facebook, you have 2 opportunities to check out The Protest. That's us. And then we have a little fan group called The Protest Infantry, run by some of our best friends. And there's a Facebook page for that as well. And there are folks that love the band and support us. And you know, sometimes we'll call on them to call some radio stations and do all that kind of stuff. So it's cool, man. We're very humbled to have the support.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys joining me today. I can't wait to see you guys out there and get some amazing photos. So,
Awesome. Yeah, man.
play to the camera, please.
Hey,
You got it. You got it.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah, thanks.